MacBook keyboard. Ever present, ever ready. It's been the input device for MacBooks since the dawn of time. Up against it today is the new kid on the block. The Magic Keyboard. Built with the purpose of making the iPad more usable, it's younger, lightweight, detachable. But is it any better? Let's find out. Looking at the two side by side, first impressions are that they are similar, but let's take a closer look to see if there are any differences. If you have a look along the top row of buttons on the MacBook, you'll notice an escape key and buttons running from F1 to F12, with each key having a specific use within macOS. Then the final button on the right hand side is the power button. The Magic Keyboard lacks these buttons, which inevitably means you don't get as much control over iPad OS as you get with the MacBook. They both have the strange and massively underused key called the Silk Row on the left hand side. Let me know in the comments if you've ever used this. And skimming across the row, the layout is exactly the same. The differences being with a couple of key sizes. The MacBook Silk Row key is bigger, as are the minus and plus keys on the Mac, and also the delete key is bigger on the Mac as well. On the next row, the MacBook has a larger tab button, as well as larger square bracket buttons at the end of the row. We drop down a level and start with a larger caps lock button on the MacBook, and as we move along there is also a larger speech mark button and also a larger backslash button. The enter key is the same size on both keyboards. We descend further and begin with the shift button and its neighbour the tilde button, which are both full size on the Mac but get trimmed down on the Magic Keyboard. And then it's like for each button until we get to the final button where the MacBook's shift button is larger than the Magic Keyboard's. The bottom row has the emoji key, which again is larger on the MacBook. The next difference is the left side command key, which again is larger on the Mac, and the same goes for the command key on the right hand side, as well as the larger option key on the MacBook. The directional keys are the same size on both. Let's move on. Next is palm space. On the MacBook we have a large area below the keys and to the end of the laptop. The Magic Keyboard has far less depth granted to it. What does this mean? Let me demonstrate. As you can see on the MacBook, my palms can rest on the space while typing normally, even allowing me to swivel my palms if I have to reach for a lower placed key. The Magic Keyboard doesn't possess that much palm space, which means my palms are dragging off the ends, or I can scrunch them up, but then it looks like I'm riding a bike. Following on from there, we have the touchpad, and of course, the MacBook has a broader touchpad, while the Magic Keyboard has a more narrow touchpad. They are both responsive and both offer the tap to select option. Both keyboards can be backlit, and when it comes to typing they both offer a comfortable experience. Both keyboards have good travel on the keys, unlike the scissor keyboards of MacBooks a few years ago. It's also worth noting that the Magic Keyboard is actually quieter when typing on. So in summary, the MacBook keyboard belongs to a full-on laptop and operating system which is naturally larger in size and has more functionality. This allows the keyboard to have additional and full-size buttons to help with daily tasks. The Magic Keyboard on the other hand gives the iPad an expanded life and new possibilities, but it's restricted by the iPad's much smaller size and the iPad OS's limited functionality. It does however have all the main keys and is quieter as mentioned. And a bonus is it's detachable, which allows you greater flexibility. So which is better? This one's a little like comparing apples and pears. They both offer a good typing and all-round experience, and each has the edge over the other for different reasons. But for me, I'm giving this one to the MacBook's keyboard. This takes nothing away from the capabilities of the detachable Magic Keyboard, which is also an excellent keyboard and is quieter. But for me, the MacBook keyboard wins. So what do you think? Do you agree or disagree? Let me know in the comments which you prefer and why. And do subscribe and turn on notifications to catch my next video, and check out my channel for more comparisons, reviews and how-tos.